Yeah, thank you. I will speak in English. The really stupid thing with headsets is you never can wear glasses after all. Okay, I will tell you a story about a huge mistake I made 15 years ago. With my parents, we moved from a capital city to a small town, and my parents asked me, like, what school do you want to attend? Like a simple secondary school or music school? And when you're 13 years old, you really don't think much about the big decisions you make that would affect your life. And so I chose the secondary school. And I never thought that 15 years later I would really regret this decision, because music had become my passion, and the only job, and I have done like loads of jobs, is the only job that brings me joy. And then, a few weeks ago, from now, I went to consultations for those who want to enter Latvian Music Academy. We were just 5 or 6 students over there, and I was the worst. I was really the worst, I think, in a really long while, because I couldn't repeat the melodies the teacher dropped me. I couldn't improvise when she asked. I couldn't describe any of harmonies and chords and notes she played on the piano. So that was like a really, really huge disaster for me. And it seems that this year I won't enter Latvian Music Academy after all. Well, that's a pity, of course. But let me tell you, why am I telling this introduction? Like 10 years ago, I started writing songs with my guitar, and because I just wanted to. And I recorded the songs with my friends at their place, and performed the songs in house parties and little poetry sessions we organized. And then one day, my friends, the same friends I recorded my songs with, they just sent my demo records to a radio station without asking me, of course. And somehow we caught the attention of one really popular radio DJ who later on played a big role in my music career, in the beginning of the career. And he said the music is fine. Of course, I thought music is like crap, because I really wasn't sure about the quality of music. But the buzz around it made me think that music could be something I could do. It could be my thing, for example. And of course, all the songs I wrote were about love, and dreams, and flowers, and unicorns, and other stuff like 20-year-old guy thinks about. And I wouldn't say the lyrics were like the best. But as I have a guitar, I will just show you a little sample of the song. It's called, really silly, can you imagine? It's called Fools in Love. I will show you just a little piece. I won't torture you. The thing is, you will hear just my really fantastic voice, not the guitar, because later on you can check this on YouTube. But it goes like this. Take me out for a midnight walk around your house. Let's pretend lovers, dreamers, kissing in long grass. In your arms I find my lullaby. Lovers, dreamers, acting like fools in love, loving without rules. I couldn't figure out the lyrics. And the song goes on like this, like forever. And the lyrics as well. Yeah, thank you. And it went on like for a few years. And of course, there were ups and downs, and as it happens to all the creative minds. And the thing is, when you create, there is no point of reference, and you never know whether the song is good or bad, or it's going to be like the next radio hit, or it's like total crap and nobody needs it. And one day I was totally excited about my music. I was totally excited about all the buzz I had around. But on the other day I thought, is this really it? Am I going to do those like 3-minute long songs about love and dreams for like 70 years? And that's the moment when I thought about this childhood mistake about this music school. Because if I had attended music school, if I had attended, like, I don't know, music academy everywhere, not specifically in Riga, I would be able to call myself a composer, because I would know that I can write music, of course. And just at one of those low point moments, I received a call. I received like the first challenge of my life. I received a call from a music director of one of the biggest theaters in Riga. It happened on Sunday, and it was like 10 p.m. at night, and you usually don't receive such calls on Sunday night. And he asked me to write music for a theater play. I was like on pause, I was quite shocked, and I asked like, yeah, what's the play? And he said it's going to be like a really popular children's book, like theater version. And when I asked why me, because there are loads of composers around, I'm just doing my silly songs on the guitar about love and dreams. And he said, no, you know, I want this music to be something modern with loops and samples, just like the stuff you do. And when I hung the phone, I was 100% sure I won't do that, because I know I can't do that, because writing songs for radio is not the same as writing them for theater. And especially when this book is really popular, and they even had a movie based on the book, and one famous Latvian composer had written music for this movie that became almost a symbol for one generation, so I had to write something even more about this play. And but I don't know why. I just thought maybe only those who do not do anything, only those do not mistake. So I suppose that was the moment when I chose to do that. And I spent the whole premiere in the theater cafe watching the premiere on the TV. They broadcasted there. I drank Latvian Black Balsam because I really couldn't stand the music. I thought it's stupid, it's useless. I heard all the mistakes, and I already read those imaginary reviews saying that, yeah, the play is quite nice, but like this music experiment, you shouldn't do that once again, really. But it turned out the other way, actually. Like, I don't know why, but this play became like a really good hit, and it received an award for the best children's play 2011, and I was actually nominated for the same award, theater award, for the best music for the theater. And thank God I didn't receive the award. I don't know why. That would be nonsense. And but there was another win-win moment from this situation. I tried to write my own songs with this experience I got working in a theater, because when you work with the wider range of music, you can see like more things than you see only playing guitar. And I recorded an album, and I think it's one of the best albums I've had so far. Yeah, I admit it. And just like in music, I opened my range to music, and I invited some more musicians. For instance, Rudolfs Blaumanis is here, a really good piano player, and we will show you a little piece. What did change in my music? I just thought I could write music not for the listener, but for me, for myself, and I tried to reject all those things, what's popular and what's hot and what's not, and other stuff like that. And it goes like this. It's everyone's landscape. Just like if mountains could walk, but they chose to stand still in the middle of a landscape. Just like if city had a face and a mouth full of words blaming Arctic's work, people came out of the light. Inside is the only way we are. 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 Yeah, thank you. That's just a little illustration, but you can always hear the album on iTunes. Okay. The thing about the small music market we have here in Latvia is that you never earn much money, and that's a fact. But the other fact is that you get noticed really fast. And the same thing happened with me and with this theater play. Right after the theater awards ceremony, the next day, I was invited to write another music for another theater play, and that was going to be like a legendary Latvian traditionally like tragedy. It's called Indrāni, and the story goes about a father and son, and father gives away his household to his son, and then the son kicks him out from the house, and it's really like a tough thing written by Latvian Shakespeare. We call him Latvian Shakespeare, Rudolfs Blaumanis. But the trouble was The play was going to be performed in Riga Russian theater on Russian language. So imagine the tense between, even before the play was ready, the tense in society that there's a Russian theater playing Latvian, like legendary play, and that all sounded to me like a trouble, because my music should be something in between, not Latvian music, not Russian music, not too modern, not too fancy, and so on. So I thought perhaps just 1 minute, and then I said yes, because I really love accepting challenges. And I even thought that I should challenge myself even more, and I decided, well, why shouldn't I write music for a string quartet, for example? Of course, I don't know how to write score, I don't know how to write notes and what's the combinations and so on, because I don't have education. But I downloaded a music program that where you can like draw your notes, and it even had a playback function, so I could hear what I have written. Imagine my excitement and joy when I first got to this program. I started drawing those notes and scores, and I was really happy. And then we went into the studio, because it was like 1 week till the premiere, and we had to record the material. And we went into the studio with a string quartet, and that's the moment where the absence of my musical education appeared in the score, because I had written notes for double bass, like too low, because he just couldn't play the notes I'd written. And for instance, viola, I had viola part in totally different key, so the player had to transpose his parts while recording. And that was actually quite a disaster again. But with the hard work and patience, we got there, and I was finally able to hear my first music played by other musicians. And that's why we have here like 4 chairs and a microphone and a string quartet. That's Strauss's string quartet. Yeah. And yeah, and just to illustrate, you're going to hear a final theme from this theater play, and the story goes that father dies in the end, and the whole play, it's 2.5 hours long, and it's really, really humiliating for the father, and lots of really bad stuff going on. And I decided that at least my music, in the end, could be a relief for father. So imagine a dying father, and how do we honor him? Thank you. Yeah, that was another moment when I thought, well, what would happen if I had studied in music academy and music school? I could write really good notes for that really good score. But on the other hand, when I think, would I be telling you all this right now, if it turned out the other way? Would I feel such relief after every premiere I have? Well, perhaps, yeah, but it would be like total different relief and total different value for that. And, well, later on, it happened while I was working on this theater play. I received another lesson from life, the same lesson, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And that was a party for music entrepreneurs and music managers where I met manager of a state choir Latvia. State choir is one of the greatest choirs in Latvia, and it has recorded score for movie Gladiator and sang almost everywhere and won almost all the awards for choir music you could possibly think of. And nobody from the choir knows this, but I was drunk enough to share my passion with choir music with her. And I really don't remember much about this conversation, but I think I asked her whether I could write a piece for choir. That's something you never do. And yeah, just like life goes, the next day, the director of the choir called me and said, "Hey, you want to write music?" You know? And especially for me, I've been a member of the choir for 10 years, and I've sang in 4 of those huge Latvian song festivals that happen in this open-air stadium. And my passion to choir music was enormous. And imagine my joy and happiness when they said, "Yeah, your premiere is going to be one of the 3 in Sacred Music Festival this year, this September." And only the next moment I thought, yeah, but I cannot write a score for choir because I've never done this before. And but I suppose passion to music leads its own way, and I had just to decline or accept all the challenges life or God or faith, I don't know, whoever else gave me. And that's the moment where I have to say, sorry, I didn't manage to have a choir with us tonight to show you a little piece from the work. But I will let you know how did it go. And the problem still remains. I don't know how to enter Latvian Music Academy because I don't know how to pass the exams. But as I think perhaps this huge mistake I made 15 years ago, could it be like the best choice I've ever made? Thank you. Strauss String Quartet, Ulrich Krišāns. Thank you.